the story takes you where it's gonna take you.
Like, just for example, like the main character in here, you read about the main character. My sister reads the book and she keeps calling me going, "That's you." I picture you when I'm reading that main character because I put a lot of my traits into it. And like even the female characters in here, there's 3 main female characters, and they're all a piece of personality for my wife. She doesn't know it yet, but I broke her down into pieces.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, her confident side, her emotional side, and her project manager, I need everything in a straight line side.
Oh, that's funny. Your wife is part of my story. Funny thing.
Yeah, I would say that I definitely do. Because like, where do you draw from? You know, you draw from the television you watch, the movies you watch, the books you read, the comics you read, and you draw from yourself. Because the creativity comes from within you. So of course, some of what you're going to write is reflective of who you are as a person. But beware about intentionally self-inserting yourself.
Yes.
That's something that will turn your audience off. And that leads to things like overpowered characters and Mary Sue's and Gary Stu's, and these things that, you know.
You need to explain a Mary Sue.
Oh, Mary Sue is like a character where everything goes perfect for them. A lot of people will write a book as like a self-fulfillment fantasy, and you want to steer away from that if you're trying to write something serious. It may be unintentional, like in the case of Garrett, where you know your own personal characteristics come out, and that's what defines the character. But writing a fictional piece about yourself where everything is perfect and there are no challenges, and if there are challenges, you can overcome them, no problem. That really tends to turn off the audience.
Right, but what's interesting is the fact that we may have a certain character that we think is imbued with us, but then someone else will read it that knows you and will pick up on something else. It's completely unintentional.
No. But most of the story, like if I'm going through the story, how I get the story is I get to a part and how can I mess up this character? How can I make his life miserable? And then I write that, and then it's like, well, how will you get out of it?
Right.
He would do this, and if he does this, what happens? And then the story starts telling its own. Because you would take about the outline. I do a small little outline, but most of mine are all notes that I take while I'm on lunch sitting someplace. And if you took that and then you actually read the book, you'd find they don't match.
Right.
They took different paths.
Did you have any other questions?
Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
I mean, the big thing is also, I mean, if you're going to be really putting yourself in it, are you writing creative nonfiction, which is taking part of your life and then just, expanding it and doing more, or are you taking a fictional book character and